Hi everyone, my name's Eve and welcome to my channel Pilates with Eve, where I am your pocket guru for all things yoga, Pilates, movement and meditation. This will be a 10-minute flow where we'll move through your spine, your upper body and your lower body. So when you're ready, come and meet me on all fours on your mats, finding your 4-point kneeling position with your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingertips wide. Really press down through the knuckles. Let's start with some cat-cow. Breathing in, dropping the belly, looping the shoulders back and looking up. And then starting to round through the back. Pressing firmly into the floor as you arch and curl your back. And again, inhale to open, shining the collarbones forward. And then breathing out to round. Feeling the skin of the back stretch. Let's do one more. Dropping the belly, and then exhaling, maybe even gazing up towards your pelvis here. It's like you're trying to hug the ceiling with the back of the ribs. And then come back to your 4-point kneeling. Just walking the hands around the mats for some wrist mobility. Turning the palms, reaching the fingertips so that they're back in line with your knees, stretching those forearms, and then taking the fingertips back out to the top of the mats. From here, let's draw a circle all the way back onto our heels. Think of your mat like a clock face. You're traveling from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We'll do one more this way. And then let's reverse those circles. Just starting to feel the weight transfer back onto your heels, to one side of the mat, over those wrists. Let's go for just one more of these tabletop circles before making your way back onto all fours. Take your right hand, reach it up towards the sky and look to your fingertips, and then thread that hand through the opposite shoulder. And again, rotating, opening and spiraling your chest, and then threading the needle through. Last one. Now you're shining that right side of the body up towards the sky, and then as if someone's pulling your hand through that opposite shoulder. Back onto all fours. Let's do the other side. We're just starting to notice how this side feels compared to the other. Maybe a little bit tighter, or maybe you have more space to move. Just allow yourself to become aware of that as you move through this flow. Let's come back onto all fours. Take another round of cat-cow. Exhale to round. And then from here, send your right leg back behind you. Think about those hip bones shining down in the same place. From here, reaching that right foot off of the floor and just hovering and holding. Now could we stretch that left arm out in front, drawing those lower abs in. From here, let's round through the back. Draw opposite elbow to tap opposite knee, curling in your cat stretch. And then open back out into that Superman. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathe out to round. Tap elbow to knee. And last one. Exhale to round. Tapping elbow to knee, back onto all fours. Long step back with that left side. Again, headlamps on hip bones, shining forward. Then that front arm reaches, and we prepare for our 3 reps. Cat stretch round. Inhale to open. Exhale. Think about hugging the ceiling with the back of your ribs, and then reaching out. Nice. Let's do one more before meeting me back on all fours in your tabletop position. Open your knees a little bit wider now. Bring the big toes to touch. Send those hips all the way back onto your heels. Walk your hands as far as they can to one side of the mat. Now for me, I'm going to that right side. My left palm crosses over right. So feel that opening in the side body. Really trying to stretch and breathe into that lung. Let's tiptoe those hands back through center, tall spine, and then go the other side. So right hand now crossing over left, stretching out that right side body. Now let's flow with this. We come back through center, all the way onto the other side. Good. Seeing if you can maybe melt your hips back a little bit further. You're more than welcome to just bring your knees a little bit more narrow if it doesn't feel so good for the hips. Last one. Create a little bit more space if you have it. All the way back through center and to the other side. Breathing into that right lung. Really trying to create space along the right side body. Amazing. From here, make your way down onto your stomach. So just stretching your legs back behind you. Hands will come just underneath the shoulders, feet about hip width apart. Chin slightly tucked. Breathe in and lift your head and your chest just a few inches off of that mat. And then lower down. Now let's press the pubic bone down into the mat, squeeze and engage your glutes, and initiate this movement from your upper back, rather than shortening the neck and looking up. You can imagine that you've got a peach underneath your chin. On this next one, let's come up and hold here at the top. Take your hands, cactus them side to side, reaching fingertips forward. Let's hold here for 3, 2, and 1. You can release that there. Have a little wiggle out through those hips. Nice. We're going to come up a little bit higher. Forearms now out in front of you. Index fingers shining forward. Let's breathe in. Lift the chest. Lift the heart. Maybe you start to lift those arms. Keep pressing down with your palms. Roll your shoulders down. Shine your collarbones forward. And then come out the way that you came in by lowering the forearms down, lowering the chest, the heart, and maybe just resting on one ear. Do everything on the other side. Lift up, press. Finding that swan. Active legs stretching behind you. And then making your way down and resting on the other ear. When you're ready, tuck your toes, lift your hips, find your downward facing dog. Feet about hip width apart, hands about shoulder width apart. Feel free to take that downward facing dog for a little walk, just by pressing your heels down, sending your chest up and back towards your thighs. Just pausing here for a breath. Let's bring the right foot forward, in between the hands as you drop your left knee. Take a breath in, lift the heart. You're in your low lunge. We're going to open out through those hips here. So untuck the left toes, framing that front foot with your hands. Chest is lifted, opening the front side of the body. If you have a block here, you may want to use it. You may want to rest one hand on the thigh. We'll just be here for one more breath. And now this front foot, shuffle it a little bit further to the side of your mats. Bring the right hand in between the foot. And let's go for our twisted lizard. Gazing over that right shoulder, maybe pressing it into that right thigh. If that's not quite available, you can always keep the hand down. Be here for one more breath. And then tuck that back toes. Find me in downward facing dog. Hips up and back. Little rebound here just to stretch out before taking everything on the other side. Long step forward with that right foot, drop the back knee, find your low lunge. Take a moment just to arrive. Again, want to feel that opening now through the front of the body, through the front of this right hip. Maybe this side feels a little bit tighter. You just become aware of it. Before making your way into your twisted lizard. So shuffling that left foot to the side of the mat and then gazing over your left shoulder. Pausing here for one more breath. And then coming back to center. My friends, come to kneeling. So sitting right back on your heels. Interlace your hands just behind your back. Find your tall spine. And then roll your shoulders back and down and just feel that really nice chest opening. So you gaze up. Take a deep breath in. And a sigh out. Just check in with how you're feeling 10 minutes later. Well done today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next class.